Hello guys, and we have here today another very awesome deck profile. We're here today with some cubics, yes, some cubics, because this deck came out in the movie booster box, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that movie, seeing what it all entails, and maybe if it gives any hint to the future of Arc 5. But anyways, this deck is a great OTK deck. It's just absolutely insane. There's a lot of different combos. There's a couple of different builds that I've come up with, and this is a build that I like. It's pretty much the Kakakiri build. It's very strong, allows you to draw a lot of cards, and it's just OTKs like crazy because of this guy right here, the Dark Cubic Deity, or Dark Houkai Deity Crimson Nova, as he's going to be called in the TCG. So let's go in to Ancient Trumpeteers because of Unexpected Dia. We do want to do our Synchro Summoning, and he's a very easy tuner to summon out. And if you open up with Unexpected Dia and this guy, you can do off a combo where you get rid of like 3 cards, no, more than 3 cards, 6 cards from your deck, and then you're allowed to draw another 3 cards. So a lot of great combos. And now anyways, here it is for the Houkai engine. And this is pretty much a stall engine because you want to get this guy, and so that way you can special summon him. And in order to special summon him, you have to have 3 other Houkai cards in your hand and reveal them. That includes a second copy, so it isn't a bad idea to have 2 of these guys in your hand. Having 3 kind of clogs because you can only reveal 1 of them, but having 2 is great because sometimes you can summon out more than 1 if you have 4 different Houkai cards in your hand, and that's just really nice with being able to plop down 2 of these guys. So anyways, this guy's effect is he's a BLS, so he can attack twice if he destroys a monster by battle, so that's 3,000 and does a lot. And then during the end phase, burn both players for 3,000 and inflicted at the same time, so that means if you kill yourself and your opponent is also falls, it's a draw, which is really nice, knowing that you won't kill yourself first like Ring of Destruction would. And besides that, it's unaffected by monster effects whose original attack is 3,000 or less. I would really rather see it be unaffected by spell and trap cards because that would just be beautiful, but unfortunately it isn't. So this card can be gotten away with, like strike. They can be strike, they can be warning, they can be anything. Mirror Force, Deep Prison, but it can be ignisted, so that's decent. Anyways, so now this guy is our main part of the Houkai deck because he is pretty much the only Houkai monster besides Vajam that can be normal special summoned by him. Just pretty much a lot easier than these guys can. So anyways, this guy, when he's normal spell summoned, you get to send a Houkai card from your deck to graveyard. You're going to be sending out this card because if then this card leaves the field or any Houkai card leaves the field in any way, you can then special summon out another one, and you can special summon out another Houkai monster using this card's effect, and then you can then summon out this guy and send another one and keep on doing that. And this card also protects it from being destroyed by battle by card effect that turn. So pretty much if you summon this guy out next turn, you're going to have another copy, if not then the exact same copy of this card. And if your opponent keeps on going through it, you will eventually end up summoning out these guys. And they cannot be normal summoned or set, must be summoned, special summoned from your hand by sending 3 Houkai monsters you control. Graveyard cannot be special summoned by other ways, but this card says screw that, ignoring summoning conditions. So you can summon out these 2 guys. We're using this, and if their attacks will be 0/0, so there are other effects on how much attack they have, and inflicting 800 is not important at all. But if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target up to 3 Houkai monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, then you can add 1 Houkai card from your deck graveyard. Unfortunately, you can't summon out either of these cards, but you can summon out these, and that's really nice. And then you can search out one of your Houkai spell or trap cards, or another monster if you want to, but I'd search out like Houkai Aurora, because this card's amazing. So pretty much you're then able to summon out 3 of these guys, and then they just send 3 more of these, or 3 of these, or just 3 more Houkai cards to the graveyard, and yeah, so it just helps with stalling. And of course you could also summon out this guy as well. And besides that, that is it for the Houkai monsters, besides Vajam, which is just a marshmallow. Pretty much it can be destroyed by battle, and if you really wanted to, you could crep it to an opponent's monster. Make its attack 0, I believe. Does it? Oh no, it just can't attack and its effects are negated. And so yeah, that's it. Now for our other cards, we have Summon a Monk who can summon out this guy or summon out a tuner, so he's definitely very useful, just being able to search out our Houkai, or searching out our Angel, or searching out our Kakakiri, whatever floats your boat. For Kakakiri engine, we're running 2 Watchdog and then 1 Strategist, and that's pretty much all you need. They get summoned from the Kakakiri monsters that you summon out, the synchro monsters that you summon out, so that's pretty great. And then this guy, when he's summoned, will change his battle position, and that's how you draw 3 cards. Because this guy triggers when a battle position Kakakiri monster changes. And then we also have Maxi, because this is a great card just for OTK decks, because you just pop it. If your opponent tries to spell summoning or tries to OTK you, you can use this card and then draw a lot. And if they can't OTK you, can deal a lot of damage. It's nice to have more cards in your hand. And then 3 Unexpected Dia, because the only way to summon out all 3 of these guys is to open up with Houkai, Meteor Houkai, and Unexpected Dia. That's the only way. If you open up with Angel Trumpeter or open up with this, you have to wait a turn. If you open up with these guys in your hand, you cannot summon out all 3 of them. It won't work. But hey, it's nonetheless pretty decent, being able to draw at least 2. And then 2 Lower Darkness. We aren't running too many darks. We're only running 6 actually. Vijam and 8. Crimson Nova, and then Summon a Monk. So it does help if when we do have those cards in our hand, but it's not really necessary. And it's also there because it's a spell card that we can dump for Summon a Monk. If it wasn't for Summon a Monk, I'd probably take this card out and run Triple Reckless Greed, or maybe run Threatening Ward. It just sounds tomato for me. Instant Fusion, which is pretty nice because it just allows us to summon out just more monsters, make Clearing or Moonlit, just make stuff that we can use to keep our opponent at bay. And then Fusion Conscription, which can reveal this guy and then allow you to add this guy. So this card does have a Searcher, which is really nice. The only problem is, if you use Fusion Conscription, you cannot special summon this card. You cannot use its effect to attack twice, and you can't use its effect to burn people, so that kind of sucks. And then Houkai Aurora, which is just an amazing card because it has an opponent's monster, and then makes your monster double attack. So this card can go up to 6,000. And then you just have the monster, so you attack that monster, and you probably did more than 3,000 damage, and then you get to attack again, attack into another monster. Oh, and this card can be activated more than once, so if you have more than 1 copy in your hand, you can take it from 6,000 to 12,000 to 24,000, and then just attack once and go for game. And then Twin Twister. This Twin Twister just getting rid of more back row. Cubic Karma. What this card does is if it's in your graveyard, you can banish it to search out any of your Houkai monsters. Or if it's in your hand, you can place it on the field, target one of your Houkai monsters, send all of your Vijams that are in your deck and in your hand, and then the monster gains 800 attack for each, and then if you have Cubic Aurora on top of that, this card will go up to 10,080. No, 10,800. So that's a lot of attack. And he gets to attack twice. So a lot of damage. And then we have Cubic or Houkai combination. It's the Fusion Summon card, but you really don't want to Fusion Summon, because it takes a while to get all 3 of these cards in your hand. But if you open up with it, it's kind of hard to get in your graveyard besides Twin Twister or your opponent popping it. You really don't want to set it because you can reveal for this guy. So if it's in your hand, you just kind of wait until you get this guy and then you can summon him out. And it's really nice being able to just summon out any of your level 4 Houkai monsters and just do that loop. It's just really insane. And so into the extra deck, Dark Houkai, Wicked Deity, Crimson Nova, Trinity. It's just 3 of these guys. And it's honestly not that bad. It's arguably better than this guy in my opinion, because this guy doesn't protect himself from spell and trap cards. This guy to a degree does, because he cannot be targeted and cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. I like that a lot better, because at least it means he can't be Mirror Forced or Deep Present. But if it declares an attack, have your opponent's life card. If it destroys a monster by battle, you can activate attack, making the second attack. And so he has your opponent's attack twice and deals damage, and he's a 45 beta, and you can combine it with Cubic Aurora or Houkai Aurora and put him up to 9,000. Unless you use this first, in which case you increase 2 by 24, so that means he's at 69, so that would mean, oh wow, that's a lot of attack, 13,800 attack you could put him up to. And then he has his attack, your opponent's attack, a life twice. Assuming your opponent doesn't die on the first attack. But then again, don't go for him because it takes a while to get this card into your hand. And you're probably going to banish it for a Lure of Darkness. Elder Entity Norden is Elder Entity Norden, just being able to summon stuff out. For level 8 synchros, wanting Scarlet, who can burn our opponent and just clear the field. Cyframe Omega, because he's really nice, being able to add these people back to our decks. Or not to our decks, back to our graveyard. So that way, if a Houkai monster leaves the field, you can then summon out either 2 because you put 2 in there, or maybe get off another search. 3 of this guy, and this guy, when he is synchro summoned, same with this guy, he will special out a Houkai monster from your deck. And you can set this card as Chainlink 1 and this card as Chainlink 2, because you synchro summoned up with this guy, and it left the field. And then summon out a Houkai monster, and then summon out this guy, so he can't be like Ghost Ogre, pretty much. And you prevent him from being striked, but his summon could be striked, so. But nonetheless, I like to set him as Chain Link 1. And once per turn, when a battle position face up Kikuri monster you control change, draw 1 card. So pretty much you just keep on doing the loop where you synchro summon up with this guy, summon out this guy, or this guy if you had to synchro with him. They'll summon out the Watchdogs, and then eventually either you summon out this guy from your deck, and then he'll effect activate and switch his attack, and then they'll all draw a card, depending on how many you have out. Or you use this guy's effect to just switch one of the ones that you summoned out position, and then you just draw cards from there. Pretty easy. And then Stardust is just a really decent monster. This is a lot of stall. I don't like to attack if I don't have to, or if I don't have game. I mean, if I think I have game, I'll attack, definitely, but I like to summon out cards that I can use to stall, such as Omega, such as Stardust Dragon, Clearwing, and of course Moonlit. They just help with stalling, being able to engage, being able to bounce, and then we also have number 38, getting rid of spell cards, Felgrand, being able to protect our monsters from card effects, and of course also for rank 4s when we need them, Dark Rebellion and Castell. Maybe should have Utopia's Lightning because it wouldn't be an awful idea, but just don't have the room for that. And that is it for the deck, guys. It is a very strong deck. If you don't like this build, the Kikuri build, I recommend just playing an all-out stall build. Like, just take out your Tunas, take out your Synchros, take out everything, pretty much, and just put in Threatening Wars, put in Jargreaves, put in Reckless, just put in everything. Like, you could put Upstart in this deck, because this card just doesn't care. I mean, you boosted it up to 10,000 attack, so put in those cards, and it probably wouldn't be that bad of a deck. Just be like, oh, I'm just going to pretty much be running Chain Burn, except I'm just not running Chain Strike and any burn cards. I'm just running Threatening War and Accumulated Fortune. So definitely I think this deck could actually be very, very competitive. Specifically at locals, I think a couple of these decks will top at every regionals, because it'll just surprise people. It's going to be one of those decks that people don't like to side against, or don't want to have cards in their side deck because they're more worried about Blue Eyes, more worried about Monarchs, more worried about everything else. And of course, once part of Cupidity comes out for the TCG, I highly recommend running this card in it, because it just doesn't really affect the card this deck at all. Just running more copies of these guys, running the other Houkai spells that there are. It doesn't matter. Putting in Reckless Greed, those are so many good cards that you could put in this deck and help negate what part of Cupidity does. So if you guys enjoyed this deck profile, tell me guys what you think of Cupidity, tell me guys what you think of this new set, tell me guys what you think of the movies. No spoilers, please. Please, no spoilers. See you guys later. Bye.